don't think about relying on external donors. It's a huge change. The second change, in terms of capacity to implement, in the last 10 years, our economic growth rates have been between 6 and 8%, and it will continue to be so for the next 5 years. If we achieved these economic growth rates, it's not only linked to the exports of raw materials. It has been due to an improvement in governance systems, macroeconomic governance, and it has been due to our significant increase in implementing projects in infrastructure and agriculture. We would not have been able to reach these economic growth rates without implementing specific projects in agriculture and infrastructure. And we have been doing so with an increased national capacity, with an increased regional capacity. So we still have challenges of implementation, but it is radically different from what it was 20 years ago.
NEPAD has indeed contributed to the way the continent begins to come together to address problems. And so it was the focal point for interaction with the rest of the world in its first 10 years. And therefore, it was consistently invited to meetings of the G20 and the G8 because it was seen as a credible, authoritative voice on African issues. And another possible example has to do with the way the issue of domestic resource mobilization for infrastructure projects in Africa was handled. So you have the NEPAD, the highest authority called the NEPAD Heads of State and Government Orientation Committee, discussing various measures, and they resolve that why can't we raise the resources we need on this continent to finance our regional projects. So the three agencies that the CEO mentioned, the NEPAD Planning and Coordinating Agency, the Economic Commission for Africa, and the Africa Development Bank, were tasked to do a study on domestic resource mobilization in Africa. In the past, that study would have been done and shelved. But now, that study has led to measures to try and implement in a practical way some of the findings there. And notably, the Dakar Financing Conference is an attempt to bring the private sector around to support the public sector in implementing the priority projects of NEPAD that the CEO mentioned. So I think in terms of its achievements, it's right up there among the programs that have served the continent very well.